G'day, Margarita here, and today we're going to be focusing on using emotional freedom technique for forgiveness. Now, just before we start, I keep sounding like a broken record, but in case you've not watched one of my videos before, I do apologize for the hissing or humming sound that is going on in the background. I know it's a bit annoying, but I live right near the Australian bush, and it's the cicadas in the background at this time of year. They're really quite intense, and unfortunately there's not a lot I can do about it unless I do these videos at midnight, and I do like my sleep. So unfortunately, if it is annoying, I do apologize, but if you can just get used to it, that'd be really great. Maybe do some tapping on it. So today we're focusing on forgiveness. Now, the emotions of guilt and shame are incredibly destructive. Energy is so precious, and if you are expending energy in any form of guilt or shame, which you know what, most of us carry some form of guilt or shame because we've done the wrong thing, or we haven't done something that we're supposed to, or we haven't lived up to our own expectations, we haven't lived up to somebody else's expectations, somebody's accusing us of something, and guilt and shame tends to be a really big part of our lives, for some more than others. If we can learn to forgive ourselves, in actual fact, this has massive repercussions, not only for being able to focus on being more successful and wealthy and living the life of our dreams, but it also has a massive impact on our relationships as well, because forgiveness of the self actually reflects in our ability to forgive others. You know what? We all make mistakes. You make mistakes, I make mistakes, your loved ones will make mistakes. And if you are going to hold a grudge and not forgive anybody in your life or some people because you think it's unforgivable, that is so incredibly damaging, and it's going to have massive repercussions over your whole life. So this particular tapping on forgiveness is just going to have such a massive positive effect on your life. I guarantee it. So what I want you to do is to think about your success so far in your life. Some of the mistakes you've made, the things that you haven't achieved that you want to achieve. Maybe you're really stuck in a rut right now. And just say the phrase, I can't forgive myself for being such a failure. Okay, now rate that statement on a scale of 0 to 10. How true does it feel for you? 0 being it's not true for you at all. 10 being the most true it could possibly be. Excellent. Now we're going to bring that rating down. So starting on the karate chop point and just repeating after me. Even though I can't forgive myself for being such a failure, I profoundly love and accept myself anyway. Even though I have failed so many times and made so many mistakes, I choose to love and accept all of me. Even though I can't possibly forgive myself when I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve, I profoundly love and accept myself anyway. Okay, tapping through the points. It's unforgivable that I have disappointed myself so often. And I've disappointed other people in my life too. I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. And I have made some really big mistakes. I just can't forgive myself for that. I've actually done some pretty terrible things. And if I forgive myself, then I'm just letting myself off the hook. Definitely deserve to be punished. Definitely can't forgive myself. I've done things that I shouldn't have done. And I haven't done things that I should have done. Definitely can't forgive myself for being such a failure. Some of the mistakes I've made are unforgivable. If I forgive myself, then I'm saying it's okay. And it's definitely not okay. I can't forgive the fact that I have failed and made so many mistakes. I really should have done better. I haven't lived up to my expectations. And I haven't lived up to their expectations. I am such a disappointment. Definitely can't forgive myself for having failed so many times. And for having made so many mistakes. I refuse to forgive myself for having failed and made so many mistakes. Okay, take a breath and release it. Excellent. Okay, now go back and rate that statement, I can't forgive myself for being such a failure. Or another way to put it would be, I can't forgive myself for not achieving what I wanted to achieve. Okay, now hopefully that's brought that down quite a lot. If you've come down to a 2, fantastic, move on to the positive round, which I'm going to do in just a moment. If not, go back and do some more tapping. Either tap with what we've just done, if it's working for you, or if it's not really hitting the mark, then do stuff that's more specific for you. This is what's really important with emotional freedom technique, is targeted tapping. So target exactly why you're not forgiving yourself. Maybe pick a specific event or thing that you've done that you believe is unforgivable. Focus on that. It'll probably bring up a whole lot of other feelings for you that will give you a lot more stuff to tap on. Okay, but if you've brought that down to a 2 or below, and when you've brought that down to a 2 or below, move on to the positive tapping round. So starting on the karate chop point. Even though I still feel like I don't deserve to be forgiven, I choose to be open to forgiving myself anyway. Even though I have failed so many times and done things that are unforgivable, I choose to let go of my guilt and shame and forgive myself anyway. Even though I still feel like I can't forgive myself when I have made so many mistakes, I choose to love and forgive myself for all the mistakes that I've made. Okay, starting on the eyebrow point. I still feel this guilt and shame that I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve. But maybe it's okay. No, it's definitely not okay. What if I could forgive myself just a little bit? I choose to forgive myself just a little bit. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect, not even me. I choose to forgive myself for not being perfect and for not achieving what I set out to achieve. Even though I have failed so many times, I choose to forgive myself anyway. I have been really hard on myself, and I've beat myself up an awful lot. My expectations are really high. I choose to forgive myself for not meeting my really high expectations. I still have lots of potential. I know I can achieve anything I put my mind to. I forgive myself for all the times that I've failed. I completely forgive myself for all the mistakes that I've made. I am wiping the slate clean. I completely forgive myself for all the times that I've done bad things. For all the times that I've hurt other people. For all the times that I've hurt myself. I profoundly love and forgive all of me. All of my failures. All of my mistakes. I choose to forgive all of it and start with a clean slate. I love releasing myself from all this guilt and shame and forgiving myself, even though I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Okay, take a breath and release it. Okay, now go back and rate the statement. I can't forgive myself for being such a failure, or I can't forgive myself for not achieving what I wanted to achieve. Now do this tapping on a regular basis to forgive yourself for everything that you're beating yourself up for. And, use those words, guilt and shame, more if they're appropriate for you, to help clear that out of your emotional energy system, because they are really going to sabotage all of your efforts. They're going to bring down your self-worth and your feelings like, you're not good enough to achieve the success that you really desire. So it's really important that you use this on a regular basis and just tune in and see if there's something that comes up that you really need to forgive yourself for. And you'll find that your level of forgiveness, not just for yourself, but for other people in your life, will go through the roof, and it will transform all parts of your life, including your relationships. So that's it for me for today. Take care and happy tapping.